What's happening, Amazing Race fans? Welcome to Amazing Reviews. Tonight, I'm joined by Goldberg. Goldberg, what's up?
Yo.
And I'm also joined by his return, Calbert. Calbert, what's up?
What's going on, everybody? Glad to be back.
Calbert, do you have a good week off?
I did. I still watched Amazing Race. But it was a good time. Good time was had by all.
That's awesome. Yeah, what an episode we had tonight. Had a lot of
Forget the episode. Wait a minute. Let's get this out of the way with the historian guy.
Tar historian.
Yeah, let's get it out of the way right now. Since he not going to listen to the full episode, let's save him time and he can hear it 13 seconds into our podcast. I wasn't very happy with our ranking. Were you, Hurls?
Why don't you refresh my memory, Goldberg?
Did you not check it? Now we're going to drop even further.
Great. Fantastic.
I checked week 1 and he didn't put us on, but what do we got for week 2?
Yeah, and he missed. That was the week I made the solid joke, you know. And, week 2, we only got 7 points. It was quite a letdown.
Wow. Well, you know, I don't think we're going to win it, but
why not?
Maybe we can kind of climb up. I don't know. What do we got to do? What do we got to do, Tar Historian? Tell us in the comments what we have to do.
I think he's biased because he ranks his own podcast like pretty high. So.
Yeah. So I guess we're all fighting for second.
Actually, he put himself second. I'll give him credit.
He put himself second. Wow. He must have really enjoyed whoever was first.
Remember who it was, but this week it'll be us.
We'll be first, just so it doesn't look like he hates us. And then just bury us for the rest of the season.
One more low score, I'm blocking him from viewing our podcast.
Oh gosh. All right. So tonight we kind of had a little swerve. I guess we could talk about it later, but I did not see that come in episode 3. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, I thought it was smart myself. So I'm assuming you guys are talking about. Let me guess. I'll guess what you're referring to. I'm not 100% sure. So should we talk about the fact that there was a team that got on an actual earlier flight than everybody else originally and still had to wait?
No, I think he's talking about the fact that the race went on.
Or the race went on. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair too. Yep. But
yeah, let's start it off. So at the start of the leg, teams were instructed to fly to Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Once there, teams had to travel by bus to Ninh Kieu Wharf in Can Tho, and choose one of the 3 boat departure times for the morning when they would receive their next clue. So let's talk about it here. We basically left off from last episode, then we went to the airport, and this was kind of interesting. This we have not seen in a while. I'm going to be quite frank, Calbert. I want to say, like, since we've been reviewing or at least discussed the episodes, there was not a lot of airport drama. There was some, and obviously last 4 seasons we got none, maybe 3 seasons.
Right.
So to get the airport drama back, was really refreshing. And but overall it was kind of random as well. So Goldberg, was this kind of like a new thing for you, seeing the airport?
Yeah, I mean, it brought back like shades of seasons I remember watching. Like it definitely spiced the episode up, and I really liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. What did you guys think it was interesting that some teams got to the travel agency, got on later flights, and then teams that came after them got on better flights?
I thought that was funny, and so there were 2 things that I thought was funny. That I thought was funny, 1, and then 2, we had the father-son, and he's so I think it was Rob that said, I haven't used a travel agent since my honeymoon.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what I thought. I was like, when was the last time I used a travel agent to try and book a flight and book a trip?
Never.
Never, probably. Yeah, that's a good. I've talked to one, but like that's about as far as it's gotten.
I've only dealt with travel. Well, I've dealt with a few, but mostly through email.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting. Like the delay, and then the two teams that got on the quicker flight. So I don't know. That was I like to see it. Like that's the surprise of the Amazing Race that can like flip everything on a dime.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But then like once they got to the wharf, there were 3 time slots, and I thought it was weird because there was 3 sections. So you'd think all 545s were in one section, but apparently like Steve and Leah, or I'm sorry, her name is Steve and Anna Lee.
Anna Lee.
Anna Lee.
Yep.
They like magically found a 545 time slot in one of the other 2 sections. So that was really interesting as well.
That was like I didn't even see it because they split it fair. Like they put it in that one in a different.
It was in a different box. Yeah, different little container.
Well, all right. That's to me like that's a little more fair than the travel agent hooking you up with an earlier flight when there's already other teams in there. Like, but I guess I don't know what's the advantage there is like begging for an earlier flight, and some teams didn't. Some teams just accepted the fact that they couldn't get on it. How is that like?
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Most of the teams were like, okay, well, like everybody's used the same agent, relatively speaking. Like that's the only flight. So that no one thought to go talk to a different agent, like right next to him, and say, hey, like, is there an earlier flight?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. That's what the airports can do. They can shuffle the deck. I mean, we saw, I think it was Amazing Race 3 or 4 when Chip and Kim won. Mm-hmm. They won by just basically same thing. Same thing happened, and they got off to a huge lead, and they never looked back.
Well,
they weren't the best team, but they won because of that.
But how can you can't be mad at that? There were teams that were legit mad at that, and I was like, why? Why are you mad? Wouldn't you have done the same? Wouldn't you have done the same thing if there was a 10-minute flight that was faster? Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I think there was so much that went into this. Like, there were so many interesting things that happened with people getting on earlier flights, and then the flight getting delayed, which I guess we're about to get to. But that, like, even there were so many things going on with these flights that literally changed the course of things in the episode, like completely.
Right.
And
because just because you snuck your way onto the first flight didn't necessarily benefit you.
Not at all.
That's
not
right.
At all. You wanted that. You almost wanted that, like whatever that second flight.
But it is funny. It is a little bizarre that teams on that second flight. Only 2 teams. Like, I don't know. Like, how come there wasn't 5 teams on the second flight? Only 2 teams. It was a little. I don't know. You think it was fixed? I don't know.
It was bizarre.
Yeah,
let's just say that. I thought there was only 2 flights.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I was like, oh, and then there's a third one. Okay.
Yeah, that's what that like.
But why not distribute them evenly? Why'd they only stick 2
right?
teams?
That's a fair question. That's
almost like they wanted to give those 2 teams an advantage. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, we can keep kayfabe, but I don't know.
I think like that flight almost like opened up from cancellations or whatever. I don't exactly know, but it's almost like they weren't planning on having 3 flights, but it just magically happened.
Right.
No. I don't know. I guess stuff like that can happen at with flights. So
you still think wrestling's real?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, if we really want to go deeper, does Vegas control games? I don't know.
It was suspicious.
The argument could be made.
Could be made. It could be made. Okay, so here's one thing I want to bring up too about the bus ride. So all these teams were complaining about lack of sleep, specifically Liam and Jeremy, and I believe I think Steve and Anna Lee kind of did too. It's like, why didn't you guys sleep on the bus? I mean,
did you see those beds? Did you see how comfortable those beds were? Like,
I'd find ways to get.
Yeah,
I would at least got 3 solid hours on that.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I mean, through the magic of television, it wasn't like it was a 20-minute bus ride. It was hours on the bus.
Correct.
It's not that hard. You even had your own little curtain too.
Correct. Correct. Why couldn't they get sleep?
Yeah, you pop up in it, and it wasn't like anybody was bothering you. It was like you and a couple of other people, from what I could see. So that made no sense to me, unless the traffic was bothering you. But like, you're not driving. So
correct.
Correct. I found that funny too. I was like, how do you get 3 hours of sleep?
I mean, it was a 5-hour bus ride. You would at least think they would have got like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, easily.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe they were worried like their alarm wouldn't go off and they would just keep sleeping. I don't know. Because I mean, obviously they don't. I still think you can bring a watch, right? You can bring a watch.
Okay, like it's a universal thing. Okay, when the bus stops at the last stop, the bus driver says, "Last stop, everybody out." It's in a different language, but that's generally how it works. So when the bus stops moving, you get off the bus. You know where you're supposed to be.
Correct.
Yeah. Or if it's a train, last stop, everybody out. How hard is this? That just boggled my mind to continue with this entire season about how just dumb some of these teams are. But somebody's going to win this thing because that's how the rules work. So it's just dumb.
So, I mean, I think the teams that had the earlier flights probably had a little bit of an advantage to get a hotel and maybe get some more rest. But still, I don't know. I just think you got to make use of your time on the race.
Right. And okay, I could see, okay, if it's your first time in Vietnam, you're going to be all, juiced up and excited because you're there. So, okay, you might get, to play devil's advocate, you might get a couple hours of sleep. But then after that, like, you got work to do. The sun's not up yet. There are people that are still working even though the sun's not up. So I mean, it's just dumb, crazy.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. You would think that these teams would come a little bit more prepared for this, but
right.
I don't know. I just think, like, I know it maybe for some sleeping on the go isn't like the easiest thing, but man, 5 hours just staring without any electronics. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm sleeping.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
Or
I have trouble. I have trouble sleeping on the go, to be honest. I can't sleep on an airplane.
Yeah, sleeping on
I can't do that either.
Me, but yeah, because I'm not driving. You're right. If it's a plane, that's something different. If it's a bus or a train, like in this particular case, it's a bus. Or if it's a boat, I'm getting a couple hours worth of sleep.
Yep, I'm getting some sleep on that.
Because I'm gonna verbally assault my teammate if I don't get a couple hours of sleep. Because I'm not, I wouldn't be no good to anybody. So
right. I get, like, okay, those long plane flights. They're not easy, and I've never been on like a really long plane flight, but I would think, like, if it's like a 14-hour flight like they did from like Los Angeles to Thailand, I'm like, I'm gonna find ways to go to sleep. Like, there's just no way.
Right.
So I don't know. All right. Then teams boarded a sampan and had to deliver baskets of fruit. Their dragon fruit, tangerines, and golden melons to 3 marked boats. With each delivery, teams received a third of a photograph that, when combined, revealed the location of their next clue, Pier 20. Morgan and Lena on this one, they used their express pass to bypass the task. So let's talk about this here.
Yep. Would if you're them now, okay, so they explained to us in the episode that they had to use it before episode 4.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm using it for this. I mean, I understand their reasoning for it.
Yeah.
But I'm not using it for this. Like, I realize, okay, only 2 boats can go up at a time.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to wait.
This was a bad move, I think.
Yeah.
They should have used it. If they're going to use it this leg, they should have used it on the detour.
Yeah.
And what I would have done, I would have held on to it all the way up until leg 4.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, strategically, that would have been the best time to use it.
Right.
Now, I know they didn't know that it was going to be a keep on racing, which is fine, but I still think you got to use it the latest you could possibly use it, unless you're like super behind.
Right.
And you just know you got to, throw a Hail Mary and use it.
Right.
I don't know. Goldberg, what's your thoughts?
I mean, I was kind of to me, it was like a toss up because they were freaking out. They thought they were falling behind, and every boat stop they went to try to unload fruit, they were like second or third in line, and they were feeling like everybody was passing them. So, like, having said that, I felt like maybe I understood the move, but I also realized watching this show that, like, you can't freak out, like you can't just react when something's happened. You kind of gotta regroup and take your time and realize, like, there's going to be another team struggling too. Like, I probably wouldn't have used it, but I also sort of understand why they freaked out and used it.
But this is what this team has done. Like, let's go back to them even getting the express pass, to them eating the bugs. If one sister doesn't motivate the other sister, do they finish the task? Because those girls from Philly, like, I mean, chances are good they probably wouldn't have done it anyway because it's bugs. But, like, the express pass at that point is still up in the air. So
yeah. Well, Goldberg, to your point, don't you think strategically it would have been best to use it leg 4?
Yeah, sure, but but like you said, they didn't know this was this was a non-elimination leg. I'm just gonna put it. I'm gonna title it that. This was a non-elimination leg. They didn't know that. They were getting worried because they were one of the first teams, right? Or
no,
delayed flight. They were on the delayed
flight. They were on the
so
delayed.
That already went wrong for them. They already got on the delayed flight, so they were already. People were passing them from the beginning of the episode. They already felt like they were getting passed, and then they couldn't unload their fruit, and they felt like they were getting passed there too. So, like, I'm not saying I would have used it. Obviously you want to wait till the last moment to use it, but I mean, it did catapult them to what, second place when they used it at the time?
Yeah, second place. Yeah, right behind the.
So I mean,
father-son team.
Yeah, I mean, if they didn't use it, they may have been teams to get out of there.
Yeah, but at worst, I still think, like, if they would have used it for the detour, they would have been probably first or second.
Well, I mean, and how much time are we really talking? Because let's continue that thought for just half a second, because at this particular point, you have the brothers and Greg and John, who have the most, I'll say, unique driver of the boat. If he's gonna he'll find the longest way to get to a point to drop off the stuff.
Well, I think they had to go a certain way, didn't they? Like,
They did, but
had to go around.
That particular driver was finding the absolute longest way to get from point A to point B.
Yeah. Yeah, they
So,
seem like
if you're Morgan and Lena, I mean, what are we really talking about here? Like, okay, to the Magic Television, 25 minutes. So I mean, you're right, Goldberg. Like I'm playing devil's advocate here. You're right. Like, for them logically, it probably made sense for them to use it then, because they would have had to use it. If it's me and if it's Hurls, we're using it at like 4 when we absolutely have to. But logically for them, it made sense. Shit, everybody's passing us. We got to go now.
Right.
It logically makes sense, and especially since there's only 2 boats at a time, they could take the whatever fruit or whatever object that you had to give them. So I don't know. I mean, it was an interesting decision that didn't work.
Yeah, I think maybe like their scatterbrain might have got the best of them there.
Yeah, I agree.
And every team's gonna have that, but
yeah,
leg 4, I think I would have waited to leg 4. Not even before knowing that it was a non-elimination, I still would have waited. Because, like, come on, like, if you think you're a good team, you should be able to survive all the way up till leg 4. So why not at the last possible chance?
Right.
I don't know. Obviously, the standings dictate things, but I felt like they were right. Like, they saw basically every team there. So, I mean, if they would have got done a little later, okay, maybe they're 6th or 7th. Well, the detour took a long time both ways. So there really wasn't a super easy detour. So I don't know. That's what I would have done, but. All right. Then with each delivery, teams received a third of a photograph. Oh, I already read that. Then we had the legs detour was a choice between paper or plastic. In paper, teams had to make 12 sheets of edible rice paper called ban trang in order to receive their next clue. In plastic, teams had to cut, apply heat, and smooth vinyl onto a motorcycle part in order to receive their next clue. All right, here's the $1 million question. Which one are you guys choosing?
Paper.
Wait, what was the other one? Not the paper. What was the other one?
Plastic. You had to like heat could you read it again? You had to heat the.
I remember. Yeah. No, I'm picking the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing paper too. I am not good with. I think plastic was the tougher challenge.
Yeah, and because that really did depend on like which color you chose too.
Mm-hmm.
That showed the bubble or a fold. I mean, you're right. Like either challenge wasn't great, but I think it was Robin Corey that said like it was like making a crepe.
Yes.
Robin Corey said it's like.
Not Rob.
That's right. Yeah.
No, it was Goldberg's team, Joel and Garrett.
Joel, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So they call him Mr. They call him Pierre.
Yeah.
They called him Pierre. Yeah.
So, because that's basically what it was. Like that had to do with a little bit of patience. I think the most difficult thing obviously would have been rolling it out, right? Because you couldn't have it come in pieces. You couldn't have it come. It had to be like smooth, right? So that's probably the easier of the 2 challenges.
Yes.
I
think the catch was there was only 5 workstations.
That's the thing.
So we found out with Andrea and Milena, they had to wait, and it paid off for them. But Goldberg, I think Joel is the MVP of your team so far. The guy with the beard, Pierre. He calls himself Pierre.
Yeah, he calls himself Pierre.
Yeah.
Not the mustache.
Yeah. It's like he's also the more entertaining of the 2.
Yes, correct. Garrett's pretty quiet. There was a lot of cringeworthy stuff here in this episode. I don't know. I caught a few. I had them mentally noted down, but now I kind of forgot some of them. But that was one of them. Robin Corey had a kind of a cringeworthy statement, and I can't remember, but it was pretty funny. Let's talk about Steve and Anna Lee. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Talk about getting luck. Just like all episode.
Yeah.
Luck, or did they kind of make it happen?
Yeah, the challenges benefited them.
She's very attention to detail. She's incredibly attention to detail.
She was so proud of herself.
Yes.
So proud of herself when she pulled that card that wasn't in the right spot.
Yeah.
I also think we got a heel for the season too, by the way.
Who is it?
Robin and Chelsea. They don't like any of the teams.
Yeah, that's a.
No, they haven't done anything like super villainous.
Yeah, no, they're not quite Leo. We're not. Nah, they're
No,
not
but
hero.
this is a turning point for them. They said they do not get along with any of the other teams. They're not here to make a new bestie.
Turning point.
And then they laughed like maniacally, kind of like Whiplash and Dudley Do-Right.
Yeah, they're okay. That's potential. I like to hear that.
Yeah. Did you caught that part, right?
Yeah, that's right. We're
not here to make a new bestie.
Well, I mean,
oh man.
You're right. You're playing for money.
Correct.
You know what you get. You know what you get for second place, right?
0.
That's right. Cool medal. A cool medal that says I won second place.
Yeah.
You're not first, you're last.
Right.
That's right.
Well, and good for them. Like they were kind of like towards the bottom for most of the first 2 episodes. So I mean, good for them. Like that's how you should treat this.
Yeah. Goldberg, come on, you gotta have more than that. About this is a team that you were kind of high on.
No, I like them. Out to me, this portion of the episode that we're on with the paper and the plastic was how bad Jocelyn and Victor were.
Oh
yeah,
my God. And to see how they reacted at the first sign of everything was breezy the first couple episodes. They didn't have to deal with anything. Well, they were speaking the language, and everything was a breeze. And to get when they finally had an obstacle to overcome, they did not react well to how much they were struggling. I mean, she was freaking out.
Yeah.
They were arguing, and the other teams were just breezed through it. Other teams were smart, man. A couple of those teams were smart to make extra ones because they knew they fucked up.
Yeah,
yep.
That was a good idea. Well, too, you had him kind of berate her for dropping that fruit in the water. He was not happy about that.
Oh yeah.
True.
Oh yeah.
True. Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. You're right. All of a sudden, they weren't so things weren't so hunky dory for them anymore.
Yeah.
And I didn't think their attitude. It makes me think we were right on Hurls last week when they finished first 2 episodes in a row, right? And
yes,
we still did not have them in our top 3. Neither one of us did. So I think we were.
I would not put them first. I think I had them at 3.
No, I think we both had them at 4.
I think last week first week we had them I think I had them at 3. Last week I think I moved them down to 4.
Yeah, this week was not, and it has nothing to do with where they finished. For me, it was just the way they acted throughout the episode. I mean, it just wasn't a good overall episode for them at all.
Yeah, you're right.
Does not bode well for their future in my book.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. I don't think they're winning potential. How about we learned a little bit more about Todd. Played professional basketball in France.
Dude, I would hang out with this guy any day of the week.
I mean, right.
Wait a minute.
He's the MVP too, by the way, of the team.
throwing a small little challenge flag. Wasn't it, Todd, that you did?
Go.
So I'm challenging it because I think you said Todd was going to be the reason why this team wasn't going to do well, and you had them last 11th, if I remember correctly, in your power ranking.
All right. Well, I know you didn't show up last week because your team got eliminated, and I don't blame you. It was a solid cop out.
It's true.
Your excuse was decent though, going to the Steelers game. I watched the Steelers game. I never saw you once on the TV. But anyway,
that's true. Fair point.
Anyway, last week talked about Todd though. I did say I think he's serious. I still don't think he's serious, but I would like to hang out with this guy off the show. I think he's got a nice personality. He's funny. He's witty.
No.
I think he may be number one on the most entertaining cast members of the show.
Okay,
I think he's
so
he's this year's
this Hurls.
Yeah.
He's tune changing. Only took 2 weeks. Now he loves your team.
Hey,
no,
I don't blame him.
No,
I don't blame him.
No. They're a top 6 team at best. They are not finishing higher than 6.
That's better than 11th.
That's true. That is true. But I mean, I think he's the MVP. Like she gets frustrated.
She does
at everything, and I'm really not digging what she's about right now. He had to come in there and make those the rice paper.
Yes.
He had to come in there and get it done, and he got the job done. And I think he should honestly be doing like most of the roadblocks going forward. I don't know. She's gonna. Okay, she doesn't. And please don't take this the wrong way. She said she doesn't cook, but then she kind of like changed it to like I do cook, but I don't like it. But this guy comes in there and 2 seconds, he's mastering the challenge. Like,
no, he did a couple things that I liked on the episode. I can't recall them now. I mean, we're recording this a week later, but there were a couple things he did that I was like, okay, this guy, maybe he can be serious. And then he just next scene he's joking around again. So
yeah, he took over the rice paper challenge. Remember, she was making it at the start, and she was having no luck. He comes in there and takes it over, and all of a sudden, things start turning around for them. So
yeah, he was also very positive.
Yeah, she's in the wrong there.
And I respect the fact that he used to play basketball professionally.
Right.
He's got competitiveness in him at least.
Exactly. And he even said, didn't he talked about winning, right? He talked about she said she's just doing this for the fun, right? And he goes, I'm doing this to win.
Yeah.
And that's where I was like, wow, okay. He's all about winning. She's all about having fun. And it shows right now. I hope she can, in the next few episodes, get on his level, because you're all right, Goldberg. They're not going to win if she has this attitude, and she's going to get frustrated at everything.
No, they were one of the teams that I will say that I'm bumping up this week in my rankings.
I do think they could be a top 6, because I think this season's kind of weak, so it would not shock me to see them go further.
No, it wouldn't shock me if they finished top 3. To be honest with you,
right.
So
right. So then. So you're both choosing paper, right?
Yes, both choosing paper. Yeah.
Okay. So then we had teams had to check in at the pit stop, Truck Lam Phong Nam Zen Monastery. And that's where we find out this was a non-elimination leg. And coming in the first to last, we had Steve and Annalie coming in first. They had a really good week. I mean, they had some luck, but you're right, Goldberg. They did really well at the paper challenge.
Yeah,
so, got to give them credit there. Joel and Garrett, they had a really strong week too. Your team, Mr. Crape, Mr. Pierre.
Yeah, it certainly helped that the first flight guy. I mean, that changed the episode for them, that they were able to be the first team on the bus.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, they were riding high with that change of flight. Momentum was definitely on their side. Then we had coming in at third, Rob and Corey. Still a pretty solid team. Nothing to really write home, or nothing really negative about them. They're still really cruising. Fourth, we had Todd and Ashley, who Todd changed the whole game plan around for them. So they came in at fourth. And probably the biggest surprise even is Robin and Chelsea coming in at fifth.
Yeah.
They had a very, very interesting episode. They had a good leg, and they said they're not here to make friends. So that's what they're all about. And then having I think a very disappointing leg after two good legs was Morgan and Lena. The express pass being burned, I don't think helped them. And surprising, they took a while at the plastic challenge, but then again, so did everyone else.
Well, right, because and it took them a little bit to kind of figure it out. Going, oh yeah, shit, we should have used blue.
Right. And here's the other line I'm going to talk about: Joe and Ian. We haven't really mentioned much about them yet, but they got 7th place, so they didn't move down or they didn't move up from last week. But let's talk about Ian saying to Joe, please don't talk to me for the next 5 hours. I thought that was a little snarky.
A little bit.
This couple's about to explode at any point.
Because it is. But having said that, would there even be a reaction? Because that's how this team is, right? One person is very emotional, and the other guy is just kind of happy to be there. Cool.
Yeah, that's true. He does take a lot of crap. I'll say that.
He does. He does.
Yeah. And then another disappointing week for a pretty strong team. I thought Greg and John had a rough go ahead this week. You could say some of the things were out of their control, but
yeah, they can't control the boat guy.
They really do seem like they have a lot of things go wrong with them with drivers and so they're not getting the luck, that's for sure. And how about Andrea and Milena moving a spot ahead this week, going to 9th? Goldberg, I know you're really high right now on Andrea and Milena, right?
Is that sarcasm?
So you like to ride these momentum waves, so
momentum. They went up one spot.
Be coming up in your power rankings.
Well, you better expect again.
And then obviously we talked about it. I mean, obviously I said maybe the worst downfall, but it has to go to Jocelyn and Victor. Obviously 2 first victories and then going to 10th. And showing signs of a breakdown, a meltdown.
Yep.
Terrible week for them. They just handled everything poorly. Things were not going in their favor. Thought they'd make that rice paper a little bit better, but not to be. And then coming in last, even though they thought they had a good leg, Liam and Jeremy.
Yeah.
These two, man. Wow.
They thought they were middle of the pack.
Yeah.
Thought they were a top 16 in this.
They
leg.
actually would probably. I'm sorry, Goldberg.
No. Yeah, what were you gonna say?
They would probably still be doing plastic. They were just as chill could be doing that thing.
Dude,
but
tell me they're not the prototypical. Their slogan should be "We're just happy to be here."
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. That's why
they do not think they can win this race.
No. That's why we all had them very low at the beginning of the power rankings of the episode. Now I know, or of the season. Yeah. They haven't done anything to me to move them up. I mean, I have them up a little bit, but not by much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They definitely don't have the smarts, in my opinion.
No.
And they're kind of ditzy.
Yep.
But then again, if they get like a physical challenge, they're going to obviously beat some of these teams on here. So that's the
Right.
only thing they got going for them right now.
Right.
But oh my goodness, yeah, they were not too good this week. But I also think that the detour definitely didn't play to their strengths.
Right.
Either one of them, I don't think would have mattered. So they're lucky. This is keep on racing. We'll just say that.
Right.
I think next week with the way it's looking might be a little bit better for them. So let's go. Let's rate this episode. What'd you guys give it, Goldberg?
Well, I mean, it had so many ups and downs, so I liked it up until the end. I wasn't a fan of the non-elim. I really wasn't a fan. I mean, he told me episode 1 there were going to be no non-elims.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get it. I get that when they said meet at the checkpoint. I guess they called it a checkpoint, not a pit stop, right? Didn't they? Or did they call it a pit stop?
They call it pit stop. They still called it a pit stop.
Yeah.
Okay, well then that's fucking misleading. And so is like the clue when they said they didn't say the last team to arrive will be eliminated from the race, So that was kind of a giveaway too. They never said those words.
That's right. That's right.
Which they always say. So yeah, like I don't like it. If you're gonna tell me there's no, and I follow a couple other racers from the past, a couple like Will and James. I follow them, and one of them, can't remember which one, was saying the same thing. Like, that felt like a non-elimination leg, and to me, it felt like that too. So I didn't like that. But the whole episode overall, I actually really did like. So I'll give it like, I don't know, 7.
That's what I got. A 7 out of 10. The shuffling of the deck was great. Yeah. There was some drama. There was some more character development. Let's just put it that way. And
Todd was developed.
He was, and I thought Robin, or at least Robin, was developed too.
Yes, Robin.
We got a little bit more of her. We saw a little bit more of Jocelyn and Victor. There was finally we're really starting to get a sense of the teams now. Calbert, what would you give it?
I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Tough critic.
It was good. I'm sorry.
Tough critic.
Well, so yeah, I mean, we had some old school Amazing Race stuff with the flights, and the challenges this week I thought were tougher this week than the week before, but because it was a non-elimination, it's a let's keep racing. It's a 6 for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be hard as we get into the power rankings. Okay, so I'm going to venture a guess and say that Jocelyn and Victor are probably down on everybody's power rankings. But is it necessarily their fault because it was a non-elimination? So, okay, every team has a bad week, right? So, just an interesting thought.
Well, it is they sucked at the paper thing. So.
Yes, they did. No doubt. They would still be doing it, and Jocelyn would be crying.
Goldberg, what would Alexandra and Sheridan do in this?
Man, what a missed opportunity by it. They really should have found a way to keep this team hanging around. I mean,
fair point.
That would have been. You know what? Probably would have been good at it.
Actually, because Alexandra would have said, well, I tried to make pancakes once and I got burned one time, so I can't do that. That's probably what she would have said. Sheridan would have been at birds.
Wow. If they ever would have been good at anything, it would have been something along the lines of this. Something where they could sit down, Grandma Bubby taught them how to do it.
Right.
And this would have been right up their alley. But
I think Sheridan would have been like, well, I'm definitely not choosing plastic because it's bad for the environment. But, rice paper is very clean and green. I think we should do rice paper.
Right.
It's a good point.
Alexander, No, the last time I cooked, I got burned, like you said, Calbert. Yeah, they
Right.
would say,
Right.
I can't do it. Well, we have to make a decision. We can't.
Right.
You know, they probably should have just kept this team on just for like pure entertainment. They like you're out either way, but just come along for the ride.
Right. Just do
Right.
the challenges. See what happens, right?
The Alexandra and Sheridan equal ratings. We
Right.
really missed out. We missed out on the two of them.
Oh,
If it was like a knitting, like if something they can knit, like something of like that sort, they probably would have been good at it.
Right.
I could. Yeah, why not?
Like tipping, shortchanging a tip at a restaurant, like something.
Certainly.
I
Especially
am
in
Jewish,
Chicago.
by the way, so I can make the Jewish jokes.
Absolutely.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Even in
That's
the
why
time that
That's
we're.
why I'm feeding you. I'm John Stockton.
I
You're
know you
Carl
were. I know you were, but I
Well done.
actually think like maybe they could have been good at this one.
Yeah, they got to be good at something, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, let's go. Let's go into the power rankings. Let's start with Calbert this week. 11th place team right now. Who's your 11th?
11th, I have Liam and Jeremy. They had a terrible week, but they're just happy to be there.
Yep.
So I got them at 11.
Goldberg, 11th place.
I'm with Calbert, Liam, and Jeremy. They're totally just happy that they did not get eliminated on this leg, and they're cool with getting eliminated on the next leg.
I actually am going. This is kind of tough here because there was a lot of bad race play this week, but I'm gonna go Andrea and Milena. I still don't.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair.
I mean, it's kind of, yes, I was being sarcastic earlier when I was trying to get you to, rank them high in your power rankings. But yeah, there's nothing that's like really sticking out to me about them. And they actually didn't have that bad of a leg this week. I mean, they moved up one spot, but I still, like, when we're looking at all 11, I still think they're the weakest link. So I got to put them at 11. Calbert, 10.
Then I have Melania and Andrea. It's just that's generally where I've had them the entire time. That's generally where I'm going to finish. So they might make it. That means I think they make it through this little part here, and then they get eliminated in episode 5.
Goldberg, 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Andrea, Milena. Yeah, I think they're one of the bottom 3 teams. So
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put Liam and Jeremy at 10. Only reason I'm putting them at 10 is because of the youth that they have. I think they might be able to skirt by a few more episodes before getting eliminated. But man, they don't have much upstairs. They haven't proven that they can really. But I mean, they went from 8. They were 8th place the first leg, 8th place the second leg, to 11th. So I don't know. I think they're not going to end up at 11 though. I think if there's anybody who's going to be tired and exhausted, it's going to be the young guy, or it's going to be the older team. So I think the younger team's going to be able to power through this a little bit more. So I'm going to put them at 10. Calbert, 9.
9, Joe and Ian. They really haven't done anything for me to. I mean, I have to put them somewhere, so that's where I'm putting them. But like, they're nothing special.
Goldberg.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jocelyn and Victor. I mean,
Okay.
we've talked about it enough how bad of a leg they had, and I don't think they're trending in the right direction. Obviously, I think they got a better chance of trending backwards rather than forwards.
Yeah, that's exactly where I got Jocelyn and Victor. I wasn't, I was kind of not riding that first place wave, and I don't think they're really going to get any better. I think, they hit a slump, and I think they're going to keep slumping. So I'm going to put them at 9. They're not a team to me. They had that Thailand luck and they spoke the language, but I think as we go deeper in the race, it's not going to be beneficial to them. So I got them at 9. 8, Calbert.
8, I have Morgan and Lena. That was it's just a colossal mistake to use the express pass. I mean, hindsight being 2020. I think we can all agree that they probably made the right decision, but it backfired on them. So I have them at 8, and they're if they don't implode on themselves, which is what's probably going to happen with them, they're not going to win. They're just not.
Yeah. Goldberg.
I got Joe and Ian. I mean, I just feel like they're just there. They're not really like trending in either direction. So
yeah, tough with this one because Morgan and Lena obviously using the express pass and going backwards. That's kind of crazy to me. So that just shows me it was a bad use of the express pass. I'm going to put Morgan and Lena at 8 as well. Something seems a little off, but I don't know. I could see them squeaking by next week. I know the preview kind of made it seem like they were the team that's, going to have the most issues, but you can always be swerved by that. So I got them at 8. Calbert 7.
7, I have Robin and Chelsea. I think this is going to be the highest that I have them the entire show. They had a good week. And I like the fact that they're, at least one of them is honest. So I got the Robin and Chelsea at 7.
7. I'm gonna go with Robin and Goldberg. Goldberg, you go at 7.
Oh, well, since you just tipped it, I think we all 3 have the same team at 7 because I'm gonna go with Robin and Chelsea also. I think they're competitive, man, and like you said, it was Robin, right, that came out of her shell in this episode.
Yeah.
Yep. I still like them. I still think they're a sleeper team, just because there's just something about them, man. Like I feel like they want it more than a lot of the other teams. They're scrappy.
I agree with you there. I moved them up, but I don't have like a lot of faith in them. But they showed some fight this week, and I think they kind of got out. They were kind of sleeping those first 2 episodes, but I kind of feel like they kind of woke up a little bit here. But we'll see how they do on the second part of this, because I don't know. Will the fatigue kind of get in their heads a little bit? We'll see. 6, Calbert.
6, I have Steve and Annalie. I think this is obviously their best week. They're putting it together. They're figuring it out. I thought the kind of little bit of bickering that they would have with each other would be downfall, and thus far, not so much.
Goldberg, 6.
6th, I'm gonna go. And see, this is when it gets tough because like it's really a crapshoot from here. It really is. I'm gonna go with probably Todd and Ashley.
That sounded like it hurt.
What?
That sounded like it hurt. It hurt to put them
up. Like I don't know. Like Hurls, Todd did impress me a little bit, but I still think the Joker. And at the end of the day, I think this is where they're going to finish 5th or 6th. So I'm gonna stick them 6th until I see otherwise.
Okay. Well, 6, I got Joe and Ian. They haven't made any mistakes, really.
Overrated.
But they haven't done anything spectacular. But so I don't know. They had the tougher challenge of the detour, so I got to keep that in account. I think they're strongly at 6 right now. So, Calbert, 5.
5, I'll put with a small little asterisk for this week, Joel and Garrett. They're not going to be there long, but they had a good week. So that's
You're out of your mind.
Go ahead.
Did you watch the episode?
I did.
What are we on, fifth?
I had to put him somewhere.
Yeah, fifth. Goldberg.
First, putting him first is also an option. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Morgan and Lena because I didn't realize I haven't picked them yet. Is that a good reason?
Yeah.
Enough reason as any.
Yeah. All right, my fifth place team. I got to do it here. I think Steve and Annalee. I mean, Steve almost had a heart attack last week.
Yeah.
We talked about it on the show. He looked so out of shape. They had a couple tasks that he didn't have to do too much. So I got them at fifth. They had a really good week this week, but I'm still not buying them as a contender. Because Steve doesn't really do much. Annalee's the whole reason they're there. So
yeah, she's carrying the squad.
Right. If you had Annalee,
no, but he did well. He did well with the paper thing.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you got to give him a little credit. I mean,
man.
Yeah, you got to put it on the thing, not try so much. Just kind of rub it around a little bit, and put it in 25 seconds, and there you go. And get it out, and we'll put it on the table and have them check it after that. So, wow, what a very boring voice he has. But
nice station.
Okay, so number 4, Calbert.
Or I have Jocelyn and Victor. Now I realize that they had a terrible week, and I had to put them somewhere. I think they respond this next week, and we'll see how it goes.
Wow, that is impressively bad.
Wow, I can't still riding that train.
You're welcome,
bro. They are so 2 weeks ago. It's not even funny.
You're right.
Wow. Okay. Goldberg 4.
Yeah, I'm going Steve and Annalee here. Very, very impressive leg. And Steve did chip in, like I just said, with the paper thing. But Annalee, man, she's just finding a way. Like, I don't know if she has good luck or if she's just crafty, but she's she did really well on this leg. And she's like kind of hot, so.
That's a good reason. Number 4, I actually have Greg and John this week at 4. I think they did not have a great week this week. I wasn't impressed by them. They had some okay. They did some things okay, like make more rice paper. But overall, I don't know. They kind of fell a little bit for me this week. Not too much because I got them at 4, but yeah, I'm kind of riding that a little bit. Let's go Calbert with 3.
3, I have Ashley and Todd. I should have really taken them in hindsight to win this entire thing, but I feel bad. So I couldn't do that because that's Hurls' pick. So they're good. I like them even more than Goldberg does. So I had them in my top 3.
Well, that's not saying much.
If we're reviewing, I had them in the top 5 the last 2 weeks. So they went up a little bit.
Yep, that's good. Smart pick, Calbert. Don't feel bad about that. Don't feel bad about that at all.
You'll regret it.
Yes. Thank you.
When they go home next week, you'll regret it.
You're welcome.
We've been hearing that for 3 weeks now.
Hurls, you just got the kiss of death from Calbert.
You're welcome.
Yeah, he didn't pick him first, so I'm okay. Goldberg 3.
3, I'm gonna go with my team, Garrett and Joel. I think sneaking their way onto that, getting the luck of the draw with the first flight getting delayed, and they then were at the beginning of the pack. I think this is where they're going to stay for a little while. I think they're comfortable, and I think right now they're coming into their own. So, let's see.
3, I actually got Joel and Garrett as well. I'm not buying them quite yet. This was like their first real impressive leg, but it also took some luck to get up there. So we'll see if they can maintain it. They might have a couple good more weeks, but I don't see them going in for the long term. So I got them at 3, but they definitely moved up in my book a lot. So 2, Calbert.
2, I have Greg and John. I just think they've had some bad luck with some bad drivers, and that boat driver, I think one of them wanted to kill the boat driver.
Yeah.
So I just think that they just they've had some bad luck. It happens, but I got them at 2.
Hey, you might be right. Goldberg 2.
Yep, I got Greg and John as well at 2. I think they just had some bad luck too, and I think they're definitely a top 3 team, without a doubt.
Yeah, well, I mean, they did have 2 third-place finishes, so we'll see. And then my number 2 is Todd and Ashley. I think they've been very consistent with 5th, and 4th. I like where they're headed. I think good things are ahead for them.
Well, let me ask you, if they've been 5th, and 4th, what would possess you to pick them 2nd? You'd think you'd pick them 5th or 4th.
Well, you would think, but
well, you would think.
Yeah, okay. I got the eyeball test, and I think they are trending up, my friend. And
with the fact that you picked them to win, right? No, okay.
I mean, they are trending up, and they're number 2 in my power rankings. I think they're going to get a top 3 finish here. So
we'll see.
And number 1, I think we all got the same number 1. So
number 1 is Rob and Corey. Thank you very much for paying attention. That means that I have moved them up 1 spot from week 1. They're really good. They really are. They don't really freaking care what the challenge is. They're just gonna attack it. So I have Rob and Corey at 1.
Yeah, they're very strong. Goldberg, obviously.
Yep. I got Rob and Corey, and I had them first last week as well, and they did nothing to lead me to believe they're not the best team right now, and they just, like Calbert, they just get the job done, man. And there's no urgency. There's they just do it. They do every challenge. They shut their mouth and do it.
They shut their mouth and know their role.
They know their role and shut their mouth and he's deaf. Maybe that was a cheap shot.
I see what you did there. That was funny. I see what you did.
Yeah, Rob and Corey, like both of you touched on it already, and I'm just repeating the same points. They, even when they had some bad luck, they still managed to get 3rd. So to me, they dealt with adversity and just kind of carried through and powered through. So they're doing everything right now in my book, and I haven't really seen a weakness from them, really.
Mm-mm.
So they are absolutely number 1. But
maybe the massage.
Oh yeah,
their one like little hiccup, but that's. I mean, they completed it. So go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, guys, how can we pick them at number 1 when they haven't had a first place finish yet?
Well, that's
Goldberg.
That's true.
Well, I mean, you would think so, but
it's coming. It's going to come for them.
Overall, they've been the most consistent team.
Absolutely.
That's the most important thing when it comes to this show.
Only second to second to Todd and Ashley.
Well, also Alexandra and Sheridan. They consistently finished last.
Or Jocelyn and Victor. Yeah.
Or Elizabeth and Alana. They were 12 and 12. So.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Would you like to hear about the episode for tomorrow before we get to Goldberg's question, or should we do Goldberg's question first and then?
No, let's hear about the episode.
Yeah, let's hear about next.
So teams continue racing in Vietnam and face the hustle and bustle of a congested Vietnamese market, where they must properly set up a fish stand and deliver mattresses to a local hotel. So that's the episode for tomorrow.
And we're still in Vietnam, right?
We are still in Vietnam, yes.
Okay. So I'm guessing this is going to be the last country in Asia, and then they're going to go to Europe, I'm guessing.
That would probably be a very good guess. I'm not going to go that far in to look, but that would be a good guess. Yes.
Unless they go to Africa, which they could do.
Which they could, yeah.
But
that would be, which that's surprising, by the way. Africa tends to be their 2-episode non-elimination type races usually.
Yeah, it usually does, or India, one of those.
Yeah. So kind of interesting that it's Vietnam. Small little thing. So interesting though.
Yes, I agree. Goldberg, hit us up with the questions. I hope you got a good one.
Right. Oh, well, maybe you should ask one then if you're so like.
It is your podcast after all.
You got a good one, Hurls? Maybe you got one.
Okay. What is it about Todd and Ashley where you just can't give them the credit that they deserve?
That's a very good question. Go ahead, Goldberg.
Yeah.
All right. I ranked them 6th. 5th and 4th. Quite frankly, I think I'm putting them exactly where they belong. I don't think I'm under or overrating them. I think you're overrating them, and I think Todd future as a comedian because he's not serious. He's just not serious, and it will be their downfall, Hurls. Maybe not this week because there's still some 2 or 3 teams out there that are definitely going to finish below them. But I'm telling you, she is not impressive by any stretch.
Correct. I agree with you there.
And he's not serious enough for me, man.
But the guy with the long beard and the other guy with the curly
But
mustache.
you know what it is about them? Art. And I don't think, I mean, no offense to Todd and Ashley, but I just think Garrett and Joel are going to be able to navigate through this race better than Todd and Ashley. I really do. Like, who picked the married couple last season?
Yes.
The
Calbert.
young.
I did. Yeah.
What were their names again?
Are you talking about Luis?
Yeah. Like, to me, Luis was more impressive than Todd. More competitive than Todd.
Well, sure. I mean,
he didn't play pro basketball in France, though.
I don't know how much that's going to help Todd in this game. The fact that he played ball, but I don't know.
Well, we saw there are carnival type games. We had that.
I was just going to say that unless there's a carnival leg, I was going to say that, but
there could
he may not be around to find out.
That's a fair point. Fair point.
Well, listen, let me ask you, Hurls, seriously, would you be surprised? Would you be mind blown, eliminated this week?
Yes.
Calbert,
I would.
You?
Oh, I'd be surprised. Yeah, I think Liam and Jeremy got that thing on lock.
Okay, would you be surprised if they were eliminated the next 3 weeks?
The next 3 weeks. No, because I still think there are worse teams off than them. Because you could I'll make the argument right now. Let's see. So if we're right and Liam and Jeremy get eliminated this week, let's just assume that happens. Then we both have most of us have Melania and Andrea next because they're just gonna yell out of towners until they're blue in the face. And then we have Morgan and Lena who may actually kill each other as sisters. So there's 3 right there. There's 3 teams right there that can be eliminated in the next 3 weeks before Ashley and Todd get eliminated.
Hurls, if you could repick, would you repick right now?
I think. Well, you asked me this last week.
Yeah, I'm asking you again.
And I'm going to say the same answer I gave you last week.
Which was?
I'm still riding with Todd and Ashley. But
Listen, don't ride the train. I did it with Blue and Lala. It's a stupid move. You know you want to repick. I should have picked the holder misses.
Wait a minute.
And it cost me my perfect record.
Let's go to 20. If I could have repicked right now, I would take the team that I didn't pick originally, who was just watching just like the rest of us.
oh, jeez.
No, right? I believe I'm the one that took Alexander and Sheridan to win this entire thing.
Yeah, but who would you take now? Would you
I
take
would
Robin Corey?
I'll probably take Joel and Garrett if I had an opportunity to repick. But that's
right
not
now.
Yeah, that's not how it works. They're still in it, right? Joel and Garrett are still in it.
You just had them 5th or 6th in your rankings. Why would you pick them?
Because they're still in it, right? That's what it's.
Robin Corey are still in it, and you just put them first. Why wouldn't you pick them?
No, I didn't know. I took Robin Corey. Right.
I think he got Joel and Garrett and Robin Corey mixed up. I think he means Robin Corey.
That's okay. So yeah.
Wait, wait, he mixed them up or I did?
You did.
No, Calbert. I think you did.
Oh, I did. Okay.
Okay? So you said Joel and Garrett, which is Goldberg's team.
The Beards.
Right.
But
if I
would you repick? Would you rather have Robin Corey or Joel and Garrett?
If I could repick right now, I would take Joel and Garrett, even though Robin Corey are clearly the best team. But because at the end of the day, we're at the point, right? We're at the point now where it's week 4. It's just about surviving and advancing, right? That's what it's all about. So
Andrew and Milana are looking good.
For 1 week, sure. For 1 week, they're gonna get by. They're gonna get by Liam and Jeremy, right? They're gonna get by Liam and Jeremy. We're all assuming that Liam and Jeremy get eliminated this week.
I mean, if I could repick, I would take Robin Corey. They seem like the best team. But
do you think they're peaking too early though?
Sure.
No, sure, man. I think they're going to skate by, man. I think they're going to skate by this whole thing.
Wow.
I don't see happening to them what happened to Jocelyn and Victor.
I think it could.
I agree with you, Goldberg, but I could see them getting out at like 4 or 5. And they have the potential for that.
All right. At this point, who do you want to see win? And I think I asked you this maybe first episode, but has anyone's mind changed on who they are rooting for, or are you just rooting for who you picked, Hurls?
Wow, that's a good question. I mean,
sweet.
Steve and Anna-Lee didn't. I mean, I guess they're pretty likable. I'd say Andrew.
Yeah, I'm still picking Robin and Chelsea.
But yeah, and I don't want them to win. Nah. I think I'm good. I'm good with Todd and Ashley, obviously, but
enough already.
Ashley and I mean Joe and Ian. Why not?
Guy, every question we asked, Todd and Ashley.
because Joe and Ian are gonna self-implode. You
know who I really want to win right now, and they can't win, but it'd be Alexandra and Sheridan.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the sympathy vote, but that's not how it works. No, I would want Ashley and Todd just because of the pure hatred that Goldberg has for them.
I do not hate them. I just do not think they are gonna. If I had to go over under 6th place finish, I'm taking the over.
Okay.
And we'll see.
All right.
We will find out in
yes.
a matter of weeks. We will find out.
Yes.
Or a week.
This is true because someone's getting eliminated tomorrow. We know that for sure.
That's right.
If we go with our old who wins a battle royal question, maybe the winner of the battle royal with everyone on the cast.
Oh. Probably.
Well,
I'd say Todd or Corey.
yeah, that'd be a good pick.
Well, actually, Hurls, you're high on the Liam and Jeremy. You think they're
Yeah.
strong?
I think they'd do all right. I think they would do all right. I don't think they're getting eliminated next week.
I think Greg and John would have a decent chance at that.
Yeah, they would.
They
would. I think Alexandra and Sheridan would too, because they'd hide in the corner the whole time.
Yeah, Sheridan's trying to
They'd
figure out
pull a Ric Flair
last-
Rumble. Yeah.
Yes. One of them will hide under the ring, the other one in the corner. And,
Yep.
yeah.
Maybe
We're giving them too much. We're giving them way too much shit.
All right. Honestly, Goldberg, you either got to get Leo on or you got to get Alexandra and Sheridan on. Like,
well, we're not going to get Alexandra and Sheridan on because I discovered that they have their own podcast. So.
Oh, wow.
Which I might have to actually listen to. So I can see.
What did they talk about? They were super fans, by the way.
That's incredible.
We talked about last week. We heard it. Phil say they fans. Wow, they got to be the worst super fans of all time.
Maybe he meant like they're like super into like electric fans, like physical fans.
Make more sense.
Jewish people get hot like I sweat a lot. I do sweat a lot, so maybe they're like physical fans. And they just went along with it. They're like, oh, we love fans. And Phil's like, oh, these guys are super fans. They're like, yeah, we are.
I agree. Maybe they are. Oh, wow. Well, we won't have to wait long. Tomorrow's the next episode. So I hope we'll be having another entertaining conversation tomorrow night. So
should be good.
Yep. Should be. All right. For Calbert, any final comments?
Let's go Todd and Ashley.
Oh my God.
I like it. I love it. And
why are you on his bandwagon? Come on.
Anything could not be on yours, I guess.
That's right. Because let's not forget what the original goal was. The original goal was to beat Goldberg, and if I can't have that, which obviously I can't because I can't beat him this
right.
Ashley and Todd to finish.
Calbert, there's a saying. There's an old saying. If you can't beat him, join him.
That's right.
Come on, man. Just join me.
Nope. Can't do it. Can't do it. Stubborn. I'm Irish Italian and can't do it. Passionately stubborn.
With your track record picking, I don't mind you joining up with Todd and Ashley.
That's right. Because I'm so great at it. # should be wrong.
Oh, wow. Well, I only got one victory under my belt, so it's not much, not much better.
In 35 seasons?
35. I haven't been doing it that long. You know what I'm thinking? Like, what if Joel's beard gets caught in like a machine or something? What are they going to do?
Beard, man, for the money.
Yeah.
I hope that doesn't happen.
Cut that bad boy right off. There's money on the line.
Right.
It'll grow back.
That's right. It will grow back. Goldberg, any final comments that you wanna mention?
Tomorrow, Morgan and Lena will be eliminated.
That's what the previews want you to think.
Oh, I did not watch the preview, and I was going to ask you guys what happened in the preview. Who are we expecting? Real quick, who are we expecting to do good and bad according to the preview?
I think Morgan and Lena and Jocelyn and Victor were
struggling.
Dude, this may be the end of Jocelyn and Victor, honestly.
It could.
Yeah.
They seem to struggle with I believe that it looks like the market from what I remember from the preview.
With the fish.
Oh, but they own a supermarket. Enough already. Like, we get it.
But wasn't Steve and Anna Lee, weren't they like kind of struggling? Or
they were struggling too. Yeah, they struggled.
She didn't want to touch the fish or something.
No, she did not like touching the fish.
Yeah. So I don't think they're getting first. Well, they didn't technically get first yet at all because this is a mega leg. So
right.
So.
Okay. Hurls, what about you? Any final thoughts?
I think I made the right choice when I made the pick.
Oh my God, if I hear the name Todd and Ashley.
What a limb to go out on. Fantastic.
I mean, yes, I actually think next podcast will just be the Todd and Ashley show. We're just going to talk about them.
I think this episode was the Todd and Ashley show.
We could do better.
We did spend better.
We could do better.
You know what? If they make it to the top 6, we'll devote a whole episode to them.
Okay.
They are not making it to a top 6.
Thank God this is recorded.
All my comments, if they make it, if they are in 6 episodes left, on that review will be based around Todd and Ashley.
With a little bit of Alexandra and Sheridan.
Well, always. I got to throw my favorite team
of
all time in there.
Fair enough.
That's right. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. We will be back, and we will be back a lot sooner than we have been. So stay tuned. That's all I got. Have a great night, everyone.